Hey, Maria. Are you going to be working a night shift at that cleaning job of yours again today?
Yes, Lucio. If it's dinner you're worried about, then I put it in the fridge, so just put it in the oven if you want to eat.
That's not what I'm talking about. It's a problem that you're always working night shifts because it's simply unnatural for a wife to be doing such a thing. That cleaning company of yours you work at, surely there are also jobs during the day, right? Why don't you just stop working night shifts and switch to doing day job shifts instead?
Oh, why should I do that? You can earn more money working night shifts than by working day shifts since there's a bonus. I don't think this is the case, but you're not making fun of my job again, are you?
Well, I did just get scolded for doing that at our last family gathering. Our son Glauco getting mad at me was especially humiliating. Which is why I don't intend on bringing it up again.
It's fine if that's the case, but I still can't get over how you told me that if you've got that time to clean for someone else, then clean the house, will you? I mean, I would if it made money, but it doesn't.
Yeah, whatever. I still don't think I like my wife cleaning for someone else. Actually, I don't care if they get mad at me anymore. I'll say whatever I want to say because I'm the husband and pillar of his family. I don't like how you're always working night shifts.
Huh? So now you're not just making fun of my job, but you're also making fun of night shifts as well? And what do you mean you're the pillar of this family, Lucio? Where did you even get that idea?
I'm the husband, and the husband is the pillar of the family. And I'm not making fun of you. This is a valid complaint. To think that our son Glauco is about to get married, yet there's still one person in the family who has a different schedule than everyone else. Seriously, do you know how annoying it is to see you go off to work every night just as I'm about to go to bed? Have you ever thought about what Glauco's new wife Nadia is going to think when she comes here and sees you doing night shifts every day? You're surely going to be looked down upon by Nadia if she finds out that her mother-in-law works night shifts as a cleaner.
No, Nadia isn't the kind of person who would judge others based on something so superficial. And what are you even talking about? I never heard that Nadia was going to be living with us.
Well, she is. Now you know, I guess.
But this is the first time anyone's told me this.
I mean, our son Glauco is our only child, and he still lives with us at our house. So it isn't only natural that his wife would come and live with us once they get married? Which means that you're going to have to live with your daughter-in-law. And I'm not going to have any of it if you two start fighting. Also, if you work night shifts, there's going to be a possibility that you're going to make Nadia do all the housework that needs to be done during the day.
Seriously? That's the main point of your argument? Why don't you and Glauco do the housework if you're so worried about Nadia having to do everything?
No! Housework is a woman's job. Jesus, Maria, do you have no common sense?
Huh? Wow, so that's how you're going to be. Seriously, you're the only person in this family who still thinks like that. This is 2023, Lucio, not the 60s. Besides, you don't even understand why I'm working night shift in the first place. Trying to argue with you makes my head hurt.
Huh? What are you talking about? I know it's 2024. Don't make fun of me.
My shift is about to begin, so I'll end the conversation here.
Hey, wait! I'm not done scolding you, Maria! Mother, is it true that you and Dad agreed to our marriage on a basis that we're going to be living with you?
Huh? Did your father tell you that?
Yeah, he did. You see, Father sent a letter to Nadia's house titled How to Be a Housewife. It's some sort of rule book he made for Nadia when she moves in here.
What? Seriously?
Sorry, Mom, but we don't intend on living with you guys, at least for the time being. I mean, I'm an only child. So me and Nadia agree that we'll probably have to move in with you guys at some point when you guys get older. But we're not ready to do that just yet, and we want some time for the two of us.
Don't believe what your father tells you. I never thought that you guys were going to be living with us anyways, because I heard about how you two got married and how you've already prepared a new house. Although your father should have heard about it as well. As usual, it seems to have flown completely over his head.
Maybe he forgot about it?
Yes, maybe he did. But knowing your father, it never went in his head in the first place. Please tell Nadia that your father is just causing trouble on his own, and at least I don't intend on making you guys move in with us. Tell her not to worry and that I'm sorry for my husband's actions. I'll do something about your father myself.
Understood. I'm counting on you then, Mother.
Hello, Lucio. There is something I want to talk to you about.
What is it?
It seems that you sent Glauco's wife a strange letter?
Oh, the one titled How to Be a Housewife, right? Those are my conditions that she has to agree to if she wants to live here.
What in the world do you think you're doing? Do you want to get in the way of your son's marriage or something? First of all, a title like that shouldn't be written by a grown man in his 50s. I was actually quite disturbed when I heard you wrote that. And second of all, Glauco and Nadia aren't going to be living with us. I already told you that they've already found a new house and that they're going to be moving there once they get married, right?
What? Of course they found a house they're going to be moving into once they get married. This house. And why in the world would I want to get in the way of my son's marriage? You're the one who's getting in the way of their marriage by working night shifts all the time. I'm telling you, this is going to cause problems between you and Nadia. At this rate, she's going to be one of those wives that looks down on their mother-in-law, and that's never any good.
I already told you that Nadia isn't the kind of person that would judge someone based on something that superficial. Besides, when did we agree that Glauco and Nadia would be moving in with us after they got married? Because that's what you seem to be telling them.
I mean, it's obvious, so there's no need to say it, right? Of course they're going to be moving in with us. Oh, I get it now. Nadia's already started looking down on you. And this is your way of getting revenge and bullying her in return, isn't it?
Huh? Honestly, I'm impressed at your imagination, Lucio. If only you could use it for something a bit more useful. Who knows, you might make a good short story author or something.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about? Writing short stories isn't a proper profession, Maria. Anyways, if they move in with us, me and Glauco are going to find out about the tensions that you already have between you two. So you're trying to get them to not move in with us no matter what? This is why the quarrels between women are so hard to deal with.
What in the world are you talking about, Lucio?
I guess it can't be helped. You leave me no choice but to resort to my secret weapon. The daughter-in-law that starts looking down on her mother-in-law is a problem too, of course. But the start of all of this mess is you refusing to quit your night shifts. I don't want to deal with the two of you fighting in the house, so leave.
What? Are you being serious right now?
Yes. That also means I'm divorcing you. Don't consider this place your home anymore.
You're confusing me more and more, Lucio. You know that we're renting this apartment that we're currently living in, right? And of course, you also know who's the one paying for the rent, right? If you divorce me, then who's going to pay for the rent?
What? That's what you were worried about? I could pay 200 euros a month as well, you know.
Huh? 200 euros a month?
The rent for this apartment is 1,200 euros a month, right? Glauco pays 1,000 euros a month, while you pay 200 euros a month, right? It won't make much of a difference whether I have to pay 200 euros a month or not, don't you think? Also, the housework isn't going to be a problem as well. Nadia is going to be moving in with us, so she'll take your place and do it for us when you're gone.
Wow, I just don't have any words anymore. I can't even bother to argue with you anymore since you seem to not understand a word I say. Fine. If you want to get divorced, then let's get divorced.
I see. All right. I'll get the divorce papers from the city hall. So could you pack your stuff while I'm doing that? So you can leave this house as soon as possible, you know? Mother? Dad said you two were going to get divorced.
Yeah, what he says is true this time. You see, I just couldn't find the motivation to argue with him anymore.
What happened?
Well, you see, he has a ton of misunderstandings, and he keeps deciding things on his own as if all that he says is true. He even said that he didn't tell me about you guys moving in with us since it's so obvious there was no need to tell me in the first place. Not only that, but he thinks me and Nadia are fighting now for some reason and says that it's my fault for not quitting my night shifts.
What?
Yeah, and you won't believe this, but he even thinks that the rent we have to pay for this house is 1,200 euros a month.
Huh? Where did he get that idea?
I know, right? He thinks that I pay 200 euros a month and that you pay 1,000 euros a month.
Huh?
Oh, and he even said that the housework isn't going to be a problem since once Nadia moves in, he's going to make her do it in my place.
Seriously?
There were a lot of other crazy things he told me, but I can't even bother to explain them to you anymore. I'll just send you and Nadia screenshots of the conversation we had by text later.
Looks like you had to put up with a lot, Mom.
That's an understatement, but thanks. You said that you and Nadia would be moving to your new house at the end of next month, right?
Yeah.
I plan on terminating the contract of our current house at the same time your dad and I get divorced. Sorry, but could you and Nadia move to this new house of yours a bit earlier than you had previously planned?
I understand. But still, I wonder what Dad intends on doing from now on. I mean, no matter what Dad says, the truth is that you pay for all the rent plus my living expenses. Without you, this family wouldn't be able to support itself financially.
I gave up trying to explain it to him. Not only does he not understand a word I say, even when I explain it to him very carefully, but he also acts as if he's the one who's right all of the time. I don't think a person like that will ever understand until they're faced with the reality.
Yep. You know Dad best after all. I think you should do whatever you think is best, Mother. Just know that me and Nadia are on your side.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to leave now. You're at that one-day job of yours now, right? I just turned in the divorce papers earlier, and I just got done packing right now, so I'm going to leave now.
Oh, finally! You know, I was actually starting to get a little impatient and thought of kicking you out by force.
Is that so? I mean, I had to find a new place to live and sign the necessary contracts as soon as my night shift ended, so it couldn't be helped.
Yeah, whatever. What about Nadia? When is she going to be moving in?
I don't know the details, but apparently she's going to be moving around the same time I leave.
Oh, so that means she's going to be here by tomorrow.
What? I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to be canceling the contract of this house, so no one's going to be moving in by tomorrow.
What? What do you mean you're canceling the contract?
I mean, I'm the legal owner of this house, and if I'm going to be leaving, then it's only natural that I cancel the contract, don't you think? I already explained this to you several times, didn't I?
Wait, hold on. If you really are the legal owner or something, then just let Glauco be the legal owner instead. Do the necessary paperwork with the landowners and make it happen.
That's impossible.
Come on, Maria. Do you understand what you're saying right now? The three of us are supposed to live in this house from now on. You can't just cancel the contract because of your selfishness. Is it all right with you if me and your son become homeless?
But I heard that Glauco and Nadia already found a new place to live. It looks like you have a lot of misunderstandings, but you do know that Glauco proposed to Nadia because he was relocated to another region at his job, right? They're going to be moving to near Glauco's new workplace once they get married. Which means that the 1,000 euros a month he was kind enough to give us for our living expenses until now will also be gone.
Huh? What do you mean 1,000 euros a month for living expenses? You mean that he pays 1,000 euros a month to the rent, right?
That's the next thing I wanted to tell you. I pay for all of the rent here.
What? You were paying 1,200 euros a month and not 200?
You've got that wrong as well. The rent is 2,000 euros a month, not 120 euros a month.
2,000 euros a month?
All of this is your fault, you know. The fact that me and Glauco have to step up like this?
Huh? What do you mean it's my fault?
The fact that your company went bankrupt 3 years ago can't be helped, and it wasn't your fault. But after that, you seem to have zero motivation to go out and find another job. All you did ever since then was work one-day jobs when you felt like it. You would earn 800 euros in a good month, but only 300 euros on bad months. We were only able to rent this house that cost 2,000 euros a month in the first place because both of us had proper jobs at the time. Then you lost your job, but for some reason you refused to move. Since you had no intention of finding a proper job again, the only choice we had was for me to work harder than before. Do you understand? That was the situation at the time, so I told the company about it and made a request asking them to let me work night shifts, which pay well. Even after all that, we were still only barely able to get by, which is why Glauco gave us 1,000 euros a month from his own salary. I was really thankful for his help, but I was also ashamed I had to rely on my own son since my husband was such a mess.
I didn't understand much of what you said, but does that mean I'm going to be living in this house on my own from now on?
No. Like I said, I'm canceling the contract on this house, so you need to leave by the end of next month. Unless, of course, you want to buy it for yourself, although, considering how much money you make a month, I think that's impossible.
But, so, all of you are just going to leave me? Why in the world did it come to this?
I can't bother to explain myself to you anymore, so why don't you think of why this happened yourself?
Tell me!
No, I'm done explaining things to you all the time, since it clearly has no effect.
So you're just going to ignore the demands of your husband? I'm the pillar of this family, and you have to do what I say.
But I just turned in our divorce papers to the city hall. You're not my husband anymore, Lucio. And you definitely weren't the pillar of this family, especially these last few years.
But...
Fine, I'll give you a hint as to what was the cause of all of this.
A hint? Tell me!
Delusional princess. Goodbye.
Huh? What do you mean, delusional princess? That hint is too hard to understand. Give me another one!
The first thought that came to me after I got divorced was, I should have done this sooner. I knew that once my son got married and left the house, we wouldn't be able to maintain our current lifestyle, as he wouldn't be able to give 1,000 euros a month to us anymore. I talked with Lucio about this and tried to convince him into moving into a cheaper apartment, but he seemed to like this house a lot and refused to move out. What happened next, you already know. After I canceled the contract, my husband now had nowhere to go and was also practically unemployed. It seems that even he understood that he was in trouble and that he had to do something. So he went to the job hunting center to find a job. It seems he found a job that came with housing, but apparently that personality of his still hasn't changed. He keeps saying these extremely delusional things that, at best, confuse everyone. And he even tries to get the younger employees who've been working there longer than him to do what he says. Because of this, no one wants to be anywhere near him, and so he spends his free time being alone and lonely.